Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Iris Gerber, and you are at the Troop Financials Training. I work in the training department here at Girl Scouts San Diego. So thank you to all who have shared the need for this webinar and for further training with Troop Finances. This training is 1 hour, so we will wrap things up at 8 o'clock. If we go over, feel free to log out. We plan to post this entire training on the financials webpage on our website. And thank you to all who filled out your needs assessment ahead of time. We got some great feedback, and we think we have your needs down, so we are ready to give you all the resources that you need to have a healthy Troop bank account. I want to introduce Ava Tai, and she will be presenting this webinar, and I will be monitoring questions. You can write your questions down in the questions tab, and Ava will be answering the questions at the end of the webinar. And of course, if you have a very specific question, feel free to email Ava directly. The email is troopbanking@sdgirlscouts.org. Ava, are you there?
Yes, can everyone hear
Awesome.
me? Perfect. All right, good evening everyone, and thank you so much for joining me and Iris today on today's webinar session. Throughout this session, all of you are also more than welcome to ask any questions. We'll do our best to answer all of them. If I miss any of your questions, definitely let me know, but all right, let's begin. Next slide. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Guess the slide moved by pretty fast. All right, so throughout the webinar, we'll be going over these 5 objectives. I'm pretty sure you've seen them when you were registering for the financial webinar. The first is increasing your knowledge of Troop Group financial procedures, and the second is the steps to completing the Troop Group annual financial report. So when I say groups, this also refers to our cluster troops as well as our service units. I will also go over managing troop budgets, appropriate use of troop funds. Our council has other financial forms like check requests, money earning projects, applications, event budget forms. I'll definitely go over those forms with you and show you how to complete them as well. Lastly, we'll go over the significance of maintaining active communication with your troop members, like your parents and girls, as well as the service unit team, but most importantly, your service unit treasurers. Before we begin, many of you should have already received or read the Troop Group Financial Guidelines. It's been updated on our website, as well as the Volunteer Essential Chapter 5, Managing Group Finances. If not, definitely after the webinar, please take the opportunity to review these crucial documents. Both of them, if you look at the webinar slides, they have stars from the Troop Group Financial Guidelines and the Volunteer Essentials Chapter 5, Managing Group Finances. They contain a lot of information and they will help you be financially successful. Hopefully you have already contacted your finance support specialist to open a troop bank account and connect with your service unit treasurer. If you are a brand new troop and haven't opened a troop bank account yet, don't worry. New troops, when you are ready to open your troop bank account, go ahead and email troopbanking@sdgirlscouts.org for information on how to set up your troop bank account. When your troop bank account is open, the Troop Group Financial Report must be completed and submitted to your service unit treasurer before it is submitted to our council by June 30th. New troops, please remember that all troop bank account must be open with Wells Fargo. We've partnered with them for the last 10 years. They've been great. If you have questions about Wells Fargo, definitely send me an email as well too. Throughout the webinar, I'll also go over these other documents, the Disbandment Report, which is now added onto the newer financial report form. For troops interested in earning extra income, the Money Earning Project application will be required with the event budget worksheet and approval checklist. Also, another form that is important is a troop group check request form, and this is when a reimbursement is requested and service unit or troop funds are used for reimbursement. All right. Lastly, the Opportunity Fund request forms. The Opportunity Fund is financial assistance for items like membership, uniform, events, and training, and I'll go over the Opportunity Fund request forms towards the end as well too. it looks like someone had asked, can we get a web link to Troop Financial Guidelines? I will show you where to find those as well. And then someone had also asked if there's anything we need to print out to follow the webinar. I'll provide you as much documents as I can after the webinar. Usually it's just the financial forms, and many of you should have already received copies of this. If not, we'll send it to you too. All right. Let's go over our San Diego Girl Scout procedures. Girl Scouts San Diego is a nonprofit that is a Section 501c3 organization that must strictly follow specific rules from the IRS to maintain that status. Although all of our troop groups are not nonprofits individually, but an entity of our organization, so they're also subject to certain rules related to finances. Our council works together with the service unit team and troop volunteers to ensure that there is transparency at all levels. Let's see. With that being said, all troops groups are required to complete the annual financial report every year by June 30th. Once the service unit treasurer receives the financial report, they forward the audit copy of the financial report and any attached documentation to the Girl Scouts San Diego Finance Support Specialist, who also reviews them and retains them for auditing purposes. All right, so in this webinar, there is an option to raise your hand. So quick question, how many of you know where to find the Troop Group Annual Financial Report? So let's see here. That's great. It looks like many of you know where it's located. For those who do not know where it is located, in this next slide, I'll show you where to download the form from our website. Let's see, so many of you don't know. No? Okay. All right, so the Troop Group Annual Financial Report is an Excel worksheet that can be downloaded from our website at www.sdgirlscouts.org. There's two ways to search and download the report. You can search for the report at the top of the website by clicking on the Forms link. As you can see, it's circled in this orange wiggly box, but once you click on that Forms link, there's a search by category drop-down menu. Once you click on that, the financial forms button will come up, and then you can just press search. Once you press search, all the financial forms will be populated in the category result box. You should be able to find the Troop Group Annual Financial Report, and this is where you can download them. The second way to find the annual financial report is by clicking on the volunteers link at the top of our webpage. So it's also highlighted in orange right here. Then clicking on the training support for volunteers, which is located on the left, and it's in gray. It's next to the number 2. After that, click on Troop Group Finances, which is number 3, shown right here. When you do this, many of the financial forms will display. And as you can see, the orange arrow here shows the link to download the annual financial report. All right. When your troop is ready to get started with the annual financial report, these are some of the following materials that you'll need. A new and blank copy of the Troop Group Financial Report, which is the Excel spreadsheet. If you're a returning troop, you should have already have a copy of last year's financial report, so that way you know where to begin your new financial report. So for instance, if on your last report you ended with $500 back in June 1st, you're going to start your new financial report with $500. For all of my new troops, you'll start your financial report on the date that you had already established your new troop bank account. So if you open your account back in September of 2016, your financial report will begin on September 2016. Please remember to select New Troop as your troop status on the financial report. The next item you will need is any of your troop receipts and troop checkbook. You'll also need all of your Wells Fargo bank statements since the last ending balance. When you submit your report, just a current bank statement is needed. For troops that did not nuts or cookies, I'm sorry, for troops that did sell nuts, make sure you have your trophy nut payment summary page. If you didn't sell nuts, don't worry about that. If this is also the same for troops that sold cookies this year, make sure you print out your eBuddy cookie sales report. I believe sometime in May, that's when our troop loses access to eBuddy. So reach out to your troop cookie manager and have them print out the eBuddy sales report. So that way you know how much should have been deposited, how much our council took out, and what your proceeds are as well too. Any troops that did a money earning project application, you will also need to submit it with your financial report and report the income from the money earning project. Let's see. All right, let's start by organizing your receipts. This is probably the easiest if you organize your receipts in date order. So from oldest to newest receipts. Be sure you know what the purpose behind each transaction is on the receipts. So for instance, if you went to Michael's for supplies, make sure you know what that transaction was for. Was it for paintbrush or for bridging or whatever it is? Make sure you make a note on the receipt for what it is, so that way when you start organizing your receipts and doing the financial report, you have an idea of what it's for. As you're working through the receipts, compare checkbook register with receipts, deposit slips, and reimbursements that were made. I know someone had a question about reimbursement, so there is a couple of slides that goes over reimbursement, so I'll answer those reimbursement questions in a little bit, if that's okay with everyone. Per our financial guidelines, receipts and true financial documentations must be kept up to 4 years. If there is a change in leadership, these items must be provided to the new leaders. Before we talk about the financial report, raise a hand. How many of you have Microsoft Excel? I'm just curious. Let's see here. So it seems like majority of you do have Microsoft Excel, so that's good to know. The reason why I asked this question is I know that some of our troops do not have Excel, and so they have like the Apple version, which is Numbers. So let's just say that you're filling out a report on the Numbers version, which is completely fine. When you submit your financial report, definitely save it as a PDF file, so that way whoever your service new treasurer is, when they're reviewing and auditing the reports, they're able to open it too. I know that not everyone has Numbers, but if you save it as a PDF and submit it, it should be fine. Our council will also accept it as a PDF too. So any questions on Numbers or converting your documents, definitely let me know. Our IT department can convert a Numbers file into an Excel file as well too. All right, filling out the top portion of the financial report. So the first thing you're going to do when you get your financial report is everything that you see in yellow at the top must be filled out. So all fields in gray is for the service unit team and finance support specialists to complete. So as you can see here, there's a lot of yellow fields, so definitely fill them out. For instance, you're going to need to fill out the report dates. So my returning troops, if you ended your report last year on April 30th, then you will begin your new report on May 1st. Don't forget your service unit number. If you don't know your service unit number, you can definitely write the name of your service unit too. In the end, if you don't know your service unit, you can leave that blank. That's perfectly fine. We can fill that out for you. But most importantly, don't forget your troop number. Your troop number will help us determine whether or not you sold cookies or nuts, and then it'll help us with auditing the financial report. The next yellow field is the leader's name and contact information. So all of our troops must have at least 2 adults, a leader, assistant leader, treasurer, and those particular roles. So definitely fill this information out. Provide your phone number, email, so that way in case there is a discrepancy in the report, we can reach out to you as soon as possible. Thanks to your troop leader's name and contact information, it asks for your program level. So on the newer form, there is a drop-down menu to select the program level and troop status. If you're using an older form and submitting it to council, we'll still accept the older form, but on the newer form, if definitely provide us all the information you can. Make sure to include your troop treasurer name and contact information as well. If you don't have a troop treasurer yet, definitely have a troop meeting, discuss with your parents and the girls who's going to be the troop treasurer. If you need help finding a troop treasurer, reach out to our council. I'm sure our troop support specialist and recruitment team can help as well too. Please include your troop bank account number. The reason why we ask for your bank account number is because we want to make sure that you're banking with Wells Fargo. If there is a discrepancy on your financial report, let's say that you were charged a fee, if your bank account number is provided, we can reach out to Wells Fargo and ask them to reverse any fees or to help you with your account in any ways possible. As for the account signers, definitely list out who the account signers are as well too. So let's say that you have 2 signers, go ahead and write both their names. If there's a change in signers, you can write something like Jane Smith, added to the account on May 1st or something like that. So that way we know when there was a change in signers and that type of information. Let's see. So on this slide, remember how we're talking about the program level and troop status? So on your financial report on the newer form, this is what it's going to look like. So let's say it's asking for your troop program level. So if your troop is a Daisy, Brownie, Junior, Cadet, Senior, Ambassador, or multi-level, you can definitely select it right here. So for those who are, I'm sure it looks like some of you are new and you're asking what a Daisy is. Daisies are first grade, kindergartens to first graders. Brownies are second and third graders. Juniors are fourth and fifth graders. Cadets are sixth through eighth graders. Seniors are 9th to 10th graders, and ambassadors are 11th to 12th graders. There are troops who do have multi-level, so if that's the case, like let's say you have a Daisy and a Brownie in your troop, go ahead and select multi-level. The next drop-down menu is a troop status. Use a drop-down menu and choose New, Returning, or Disbanding. So if your troop is brand new, this is where you're going to select New. If your troop is returning, select Returning. If your troop is disbanding, please definitely select disbanding, but remember at the bottom of the spreadsheet, there is a 4th tab. It's the disbandment report. This is something that you're going to be having to fill out if your troop is disbanding. Let's see. The next area is if your troop has petty cash or cash on hand that has not been deposited into the bank account yet, please list it on the report. I know that during cookie season, troops do withdraw cash for change. Now that cookie season is over, deposit all your petty cash and cash on hand. Remember, all troop transactions must be made with troop debit card or checkbooks. If your troop has any unsold cookie boxes, please remember to list them here on the report. The new report also has a section for troops to report any remaining $6 specialty cookies. The specialty cookies are s'mores and toffee-tastic. So as you can see right here, in this red box right here, that's where you can list your unsold cookies. The reason why we have the unsold cookie box section is because at the end of every financial reporting period, we want to make sure that all troop deposited the correct amount of cookie money. So if your troop sold 10 boxes of cookies and each box is valued at $5, then the troop should have deposited $50 into the troop bank account. All right, so before beginning the financial report, make sure you enter the ending balance from the last financial report. So returning troops, let's say that you enter your report 500 from last report. Where this little box right here is, it's highlighted in yellow. You can write out 500, and this is just an example, okay? For all of my new troops who recently opened their bank account, you don't have to worry about the balance from the last report because you didn't submit one, so it's okay to have a $0 balance. As you enter your transactions, enter the oldest date first, and this will be on the first column highlighted in red, right here. In the second column, this is where you put the details of the transaction, include a description of the transactions. So for instance, if it was the Girl Scout store, then write down what was purchased at the store. So in this example, you can see that it says Girl Scout store purchased badges. This transaction details column, you'll list all of your income and expenses. Income is any type of money coming into the Troop bank account, and expenses will be any transactions where money is spent. For income, it will be cookie and nut deposits, donations, dues or money earned from projects, and monies from parents given for activities or events. For expenses, this includes all transactions where money was spent. For instance, there was a field trip admission to the San Diego Children's Museum, craft supplies at Michael's store, or troop snacks at Vaughn's. And remember, these are all examples. For all checks, include the check number, who the check was made out to, and what it was made out for. If the troop was charged a fee, definitely include that on the financial report and what that fee was for too. It could be overdraft, it could be an NSF, which is a non-sufficient fee. In this third column right here, you're going to enter the amount received from troop dues, donations, money earning projects, recycling, or anything like that. Basically, any income received from any sources other than nuts and cookie sales. So, troop proceeds or council proceed deposits won't be listed in this column. For example, you collected $20 from troop for dues. So as you can see from the example, for income, I wrote $20 and I made a note, the date, troop dues. Fairly simple. In the fourth column, you're going to enter the amount received from nuts and cookie sales. So during cookie sales, a troop may have multiple deposits on the same day. You can definitely combine all the deposits on one line. So for instance, if there was 5 transactions for cookies that total $1,000, then you can definitely write $1,000. During nut sales, if any amount of money coming in for nut sales, go ahead and write it in this column as well too. Does anybody have any questions so far about the income columns? So when you look at the financial report, everything that's highlighted in green is strictly for product sales. So anything like product sales income, green, product sales expenses in green, it's pretty much straightforward. So in the fifth column, you're going to enter the dollar amount for any meeting, activities, and event expenses. These expenditures includes craft supplies, first aid kits, program books, workshops, annual membership dues, patches, badges, and so much more. For troops that use a Square reader or any other credit card reader during cookie sales, you will need to enter the Square fees here. That way we know why the troop is either short on cookie deposits or anything like that because of these fees. So definitely make a note here in the expense line what those how much the fees that was incurred. Do not list the nuts and cookie sales withdrawals made by council here in this expense line, okay? So in this sixth column, you're going to enter the nuts and cookie sales withdrawals, or ACH, made by council. So if you're, let's say that for cookie sales, our council withdraw $100. So you'll enter $100 here in this column and make a note on the transaction detail line that says product sales withdrawal for cookies. That's pretty much it. However, if your troop had digital cookies, please do not enter your digital cookie transactions onto your financial report. Digital cookies transactions are all online cookie sales, so they will not have to be reported on your financial report. As you're filling out the financial report, you'll also notice at the bottom of your worksheet, there is a category totals. As you enter amounts into each column, it'll calculate the total amount for each category or income and expense. It also calculates your total ending balance. So the total ending balance should match against your most recent bank statement. But if the total ending balance doesn't match your last statement, don't panic. There might be checks or transactions that haven't cleared yet, or there's transactions that are too new and can't be on the bank statements that you currently have. If that's the case, what you're going to have to do is use the Statement Reconciliation tab. It's the second tab at the bottom of the Excel worksheet. And with the Statement Reconciliation tab report, you can note any outstanding expenses and income. So here is what the Statement Reconciliation worksheet looks like. Like I mentioned, it's on the second tab of the Excel worksheet. You can see right here in the red arrow, it's pointing at it. Remember, if the total ending balance on the financial report does not match the bank statement, it's possible that there are checks or transactions that have not cleared yet. So what you do is you fill out this report. So for any of your deposits that haven't shown on the bank statement or haven't cleared yet, you'll list them here, what it is, and the amount. And then this is in A, where it says current bank statement, under A, where it says deposits pending outstanding list of all deposits not shown on current bank statement. And then the next one, let's see. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Towards the end of your report, if you have an ending balance that exceeds $500 on the financial report, the person completing the report, it could be a leader or treasurer, they must complete this section and fill out what the true plans are for those funds. So let's say your troop has more than 500. Write out like, I'm planning to utilize these funds for a troop bridging event or something like that. Somebody had asked, does this mean that we don't have to fill out this form when we balance our match? Oh, sorry. Going back to the reconciliation form, if your ending balance matches your bank statement, then yes, you don't have to fill out the statement reconciliation form. Let's see. I also want to let many of you know, with the cost of our membership for the 2018 year increasing to $25, it's best that troops definitely budget and save for the girls' membership and other trips or special events. So if you have like more than $500, maybe you can write out something like saving for girls' annual membership renewal. Remember, troop funds belong to the entire troop. So troop funds belong to the entire troop, so the entire troop should make choices regarding how funds are spent. Per our San Girl Scout financial guidelines, troop ledgers are also not permitted too. Another thing I also want to let you know is when you submit your financial report, right here where it says review and signed by service unit treasurer or manager, when you fill out your report, send it to your service treasurer. If it gets approved and if there's no discrepancy, it'll be signed and approved by your treasurer. If not, she or he will reach out to you and let you know of any discrepancies. If the discrepancies can't be resolved, it will be sent to council, and then we can help you resolve any discrepancies on the financial report. Remember, so right here at the bottom where it says review and signed by service unit treasurer or manager, that's something that's signed by the service unit team and finance support specialist or a council member. So even though it's highlighted in yellow, it's not meant for a troop leader or treasurer or a troop member to sign. I just wanted to clarify that too. All right, so if your troop is disbanding, please review the disbandment guide, which is on the third tab of the Excel spreadsheet. If you look down here, it says disbandment guide, which is the third tab, disbandment report, which is the fourth tab. And both disbandment tabs are highlighted in blue, so that way you can use them as well for your reference. Remember at the top of the financial report to select the option disbanding as a troop status. So it's right here where it says troop status. Remember to select disbanding. When you select disbanding, there is a pop-up that reminds you, hey, if your troop is disbanding, please complete the fourth tab. And we'll go over the disbandment report in a little bit. If your troop is not disbanding, you do not have to fill out the financial You do not have to fill out that fourth tab right there. All right, so disbandment guide, which is the third tab, it basically goes over all the information your troop needs to disband. When your troop is disbanding, please contact your service unit treasurer and a council staff member so that way we can best assist you with closing out the troop roster and bank account. In regards to how troop funds are spent, or in regards to how troops spend the remaining funds, our financial guideline states that troops may choose to spend their funds in a way that aligns with our Girl Scout mission and leadership experience. Sometimes troops plan on end-of-year parties, activities, or a set of activities like a trip. It could be a camping trip. Troops are allowed to donate portions of their troop funds to organizations they care about. At Girl Scouts, we support philanthropy. So please note that troops should not invest the remaining funds in gift cards, merchandise, or any gift to troop members. Disbandment report. Here is the disbandment report, which is the fourth tab of the Excel workbook. It's important when a troop disbands that they communicate this to the service unit team and council staff member. When a troop disbands, if there are funds left over, please complete the disbandment report and the financial report. The disbandment report should list the names of the girls and the troop status. For instance, are the girls registered in another troop? Are they continuing as an IRM, which is an independent registered member, or are they not active? For remaining troop funds, the finance support specialist can actually send in a request to close out the troop bank account and transfer funds to the appropriate service unit. The leader also has the option to close out the account and request a cashier check. If that's the case, the cashier check must be given to the service unit treasurer along with the closing bank statement. The service unit will hold on to the troop funds for up to 12 months. Anytime a girl joins a troop within that 1 year period, a portion of the troop fund is prorated. It's given to her new troop. The disbandment report is the best method to ensure that funds follow the girls. So please remember to complete it. For instance, if the troop has $100 and there's 4 girls and a girl joins a new troop, a fourth of that fund, let's say $25, will follow her to her new troop. So just to recap on the financial report, here is a checklist for completing it. If you have questions in regards to any of this, just definitely let us know. So in order to do your financial report, you're going to need to download the Troop Group Annual Financial Report Excel worksheet, which is found on our website. Last year's financial report, if you're returning, if you're a new troop, you're going to start off fresh. You're going to start at the beginning. It's going to be a zero balance. You're going to need your receipts, checkbook, bank statements. Bank statements you can actually download from Wells Fargo and save them. You're going to need your nut sales. If you sold nuts, you're going to need your nut sales troop summary. If you sold cookies, you're going to need your eBuddy sales report. If you did a money earning project or anything like that, definitely submit your application with it as well. If your troop is disbanding, submit the disbandment report. Please complete the financial report with the ending bank statement and money earning application to your service unit treasurer. Oftentimes, emailing is the easiest. Some service unit treasurers will meet with you to collect the paper versions. It really depends on your service unit treasurer, but overall, emailing is probably the best. Someone asked, if our troop is not disbanding until later in the summer, should we still fill out this form at this time? So financial report is due every year. So even if your troop is not planning to disband or you're not doing anything this summer, you definitely still submit it as well too. For those who don't know who your service unit treasurer is, go ahead and send me a quick email and let me know what your troop number is, and I can figure out who your service unit treasurer is. So that way I can provide you the treasurer's email and contact information as well too. All right, now that we have gone over the financial report and submitting it to the service unit treasurers, it's also important that the financial report gets shared with troop members. Troop members are your parents and girls. So, show of hands, how often do you share with your troop members the troop finances? All right, show of hands. Let's see here. It looks like it's about half of you. I mean, that's a pretty good amount of numbers of people. Let's see. For those who don't or haven't shared the troop financials with troop members yet, I recommend doing it at your next troop meeting. You can bring in the bank statements, you can bring in the financial report, so that way the girls and parents can view it and help you reconcile. This is probably the best way to help our girls learn how to do troop finances as well and teach them about budgeting too. But someone had asked, I'm a new treasurer, but I've never seen it shared as a parent. How often isn't it? Let's see. Let Oh, sorry. So on raising the hand, so on your webinar, on your screen, there should be an option where you can place your hand up, Mary. I hope you can see that. But for financials, in regards to sharing it, it's it's important to always talk to your troop leaders, to your parents. Money is an issue that money is a thing that can cause a lot of questions. Transparency is really important, so definitely talk to your troop about money, and then with that, when it comes up, you can share the bank statements, you can share the financial reports and that kind of thing. Let's see. So sorry, at Girl Scout we promote transparency, and it's really important that all members are aware of troop funds and how they're utilized. That's why we have the financial guidelines in place, as well as the volunteer essentials on managing troop group finances. They were created to help you and our volunteers develop and carry out responsibilities with girl money and modeling financial literacy and accountability. So remember, our girls look up to you as their role models. So another show of hands, how many of you discuss troop funds and budgeting at your troop meetings? Or I'm sorry, how often? So instead of raising your hand, how many of you, if you want to type a question or respond back, that's fine too. So let's see. Okay, so it looks like a good amount of you do talk about your finances with the troops, so that's good. All right, so definitely continue to be active and discuss finances with your troop members about troop money. All right, the importance of open communication with your troop members. So throughout the year, Girl Scout troops or your Girl Scout troops and groups plan and finance its own activities with adult guidance, giving girls a chance to learn valuable life skills. That's an integral part of the Girl Scout leadership experience. Volunteers help girls decide what they want to do and coach them as they earn and manage money to pursue goals that's appropriate for their age, capabilities, and financial resources. So remember, troops should be self-supporting and not rely on fundings from the girls' families. There are many ways for troops to earn money, and we'll definitely discuss this in a little bit. Girls, parents, and sponsors should definitely know where troop funds come from and how they're spent. So in Girl Scouts, girls earn money only for the troop and never for themselves. As your troop works together as a team to create a budget, money in a troop group account belongs to the troop or group as a whole, and it's never the property of individual girls. And remember, ledger systems are not permitted. All girls must participate in long-term planning for activities, events, and making sure that they are financially attainable for everyone. The girls must decide in advance how to handle the situation if a new girl joins while they're saving for a special event or activity, especially if a girl joins right before the event. When setting dues and helping plan activities, the troop leaders should be sensitive to the financial circumstances of all members. So this is all very important for creating a budget. In a survey that was sent to registered webinar attendees, many of you wanted to know more about appropriate use of troop funds. There are ways to use troop funds. There are actually many ways to use troop funds. First, have the girls be involved in the planning of how they're going to use their troop funds. Talk to the girls, find out their ideas and what their interests are. The older the girls, the more input that they can provide in the planning process. The troop funds should be used in a manner compatible with our Girl Scout leadership experience and in keeping with our financial guidelines. The Girl Scouts leadership experience includes these 3 components. Girls discover when they understand themselves and their value, and to use their knowledge and skills to explore the world. Girls connect when they care about inspire and team with others locally and globally. And the last one, girls take action when they do something to make a world a better place. So these are the 3 components when thinking of ideas to use troop funds. Girl Scout funds should be used for activities and events that have program values. So some ideas are attending service unit encampment, attending a council event, finding a Girl Scout community partner that has a program the girls are interested in. I also want to let you know the IRS requires that 501c3 organizations such as Girl Scouts San Diego must not be organized or operated for the benefit of private interests. So this means that troop group funds must be used for troop group activities and events and not for individual members. Troop group should budget and plan to spend their money throughout the year to support girls' experience. So this can include membership fees, uniforms, badges, service projects, field trips, and so much more. Let's talk about higher awards. And this is part of appropriate use of troop funds too. So girls may earn money to help finance their individual or small group silver award projects. If this has been, or even gold award projects as well, and if this has been voted on and approved by a troop through a democratic process, it should be fine. Allocating funds towards a highest award project does not count as private benefit, as the funds support the project and not the individual or small group. If you have questions on silver, bronze, or gold awards, please email your troop support specialist. If you don't know who they are, you can also send me an email and I can let your troop support specialist know as well too. From the survey that was sent out, many of you have wanted to know more about reimbursements. So this is actually one of the common questions that we receive. The question is, can I be reimbursed with troop funds? The answer is yes. Troop members can be reimbursed for Girl Scouts related expenses. However, to request a reimbursement of troop funds, a troop group check request must be filled out with a copy of the receipt. This form is needed when using troop funds to reimburse for purchases made with personal money. Per our financial guidelines, it's best to use a troop group debit card and checks for all Girl Scout expenses to avoid large reimbursements to parents or volunteers. Please know that an ATM withdrawal receipt does not qualify as a receipt for reimbursement justifications for any troop group expenses. So all purchases made with cash requires a detailed receipt of that transaction. Requests for reimbursement should be submitted within 30 days or a reasonable time frame. Do not write checks to yourself if you are a bank account signer. Have your co-signer or co-leader write your reimbursement check. The check request form can actually be found on our website, and I'll show you where to find it as well too. I know that the same form can be used by the service unit as well too. Someone had asked if a parent overpaid or their daughter didn't go to an event, no receipt, but I'd like to give the funds back. We don't have anything else to apply them to. It's under $10 per person. So let's see. So for that question, I'm going to answer towards the end if that's okay. All right, so here is a check request form. Like I mentioned, it's on our website and it looks something like this. So as you can see here, it says, this request is used anytime troops or service unit funds are spent. Whenever possible, this should be in the form of reimbursement, not in advance. Receipts must be submitted for all expenses and submitted within 30 days or a reasonable time frame. All right, so here's a sample of how you would fill one out. As you can see here, requested by will be the name of the service unit team member, a leader, or parent. It's the person who is requesting the reimbursement. Don't forget the date. The reimbursement check can be made out to the service unit. Like let's say if you have encampment, then the check will be made out to the service unit, or the troop number or the name of the payee. Don't forget to check on the reimbursement box, which is right here. And also remember a copy of receipts. Sometimes without receipts, reimbursements won't be able to be processed. I know there is a box that says advance, but all advance requires approval of the service unit manager or troop leader before requests for an advance can be made. Please have this discussion with your service unit team or troop members before requesting any advances. Where it asks for explanation of expenses, write out a brief description of what the reimbursement is for. So for example here, you went to Michael's to buy troop supplies, and the supplies include paintbrushes and paint, and the total amount was $9.50. So someone had asked who typically signs off the form. So if leader A is requesting a reimbursement, then leader B or the treasurer would sign the form and write out the check. Here's another section of the check request form. In this section, you can classify the type of expense that it was. So let's say that we're using the Michael store as an example still, and paint supplies was purchased. This is under the crafts category, which is right here. And then as you can see, I wrote $9.50 next to it. If you do not see an expense that fits the criteria of the categories provided, go ahead and where it says specify others, and just write out what type of expense it was. When the check request form is completed, it must be approved by either, so if it's on a service unit level, then it has to be approved by a service unit manager or team member. But if it's on a troop level, it has to be another co-leader or treasurer or another member of the troop who has access to the account. Definitely include the date the check request form was approved. Once it's approved, then a check can be issued, and the section where it says treasurer use only can be filled out. Remember, do not write checks to yourself if you are a bank account signer. Have your co-signer write your reimbursement check. All right. The next form that we'll be discussing is the money earning project application form. I know it says it shows a hand, but what I'm going to do is actually a poll. So let me see if I can pull that up right now. Launch. So there should be a pop-up. Please check your webinar screen for a pop-up for the question and select the appropriate answer for your troop or group. So the question is going to ask something like, how many of you have done a money earning project application or know what it is? So let's see here. It looks so 35% of you said first time hearing about it. No, I'm sorry, now it's 37. Another 30% of you have said never done it before. Only 14% has done a money earning project. Okay, that's good. We can definitely go over more about more of money earning project applications and what it is. Let's see. So, our Sanyo Girl Scout troops earn money in two distinct ways. The first way is product sales. This includes the cookie program and fall sales. The second way is troop group money earning projects, which we're going to talk about. But I'm going back to cookie program and fall sales. So the cookie program and fall sales are council-sponsored product sales activities girls can participate in each year. Troops must actively participate in both in order to do any money earning projects. So if you want to do your money earning project, make sure you do nut sales and your cookie sales. Please remember, Girl Scout volunteers and staff don't sell cookies and other products. It's the girls. So if a troop sells nuts, they must do cookie sales. Troop money earning refers to activities organized by the troop group and not by Girl Scouts San Diego. They are planned and carried out by the girls in partnership with the adult to earn money for the troop. Funds are earned for Girl Scout activities and not retained for any individuals. Our service unit are also allowed to do money earning projects as well too. This form can also be found on our website, and I'll definitely go over where to find them on our website too at the end. All right, so requirements for troops to do a money earning project
Hi, Ava.
application.
I wanted to interrupt. The poll is still up and not the
Oh,
PowerPoint.
I am so sorry about that. Let me go ahead and close the poll.
Awesome. And just to let everyone know, we have about 10 minutes left. If we do go over, we want to respect your time. I'm going to record this, and I can also put all these slides in a Dropbox folder and email that out too.
Perfect. Thank you, Iris. All right, sorry, money earning applications. So here are some requirements. I'm not going to go over into too much into details, but like I mentioned before, troops have to participate in both the annual product sales, which is cooking and nuts in order to do a money earning project. 4 weeks in advance is needed for the form, and then if the troop is expected to net more than $500, it must be approved by the finance support specialist. If you're planning to net less than 500, then your service unit team will look at the approval. Another thing that's really important is for the money earning application, approved money earning projects must be completed with a troop group annual financial report. So if your troop did not submit an annual financial report, you will not be able to do a money earning application. Let's see the next slide. Here's another requirement. So the money earning project guidelines also state that each application is scheduled for a single date. So if you have multiple projects that you want to do, it's going to require multiple applications to be submitted. But this also varies on your troop program level too. So here's the number of money earning applications girls can do or troops can do. So if you're daisies, you won't be able to do any money earning projects, but for all of my daisies troops, they can earn money by also doing recycling. There is no limit to recycling for all of our Girl Scouts troop as well. Daisies, you can only do 1 money earning project. Brownies, 1 money earning projects. Juniors, 2 money earning projects, and cadets and older troops can do 3 money earning projects. Here are some other appropriate ways to do your money earning projects. It can include workshops, hosting garage sales, doing baked goods, gift wrapping, car wash, and that kind of thing. So inappropriate money earning projects. So anytime it's a game of chance, like a raffle, contest, these are no's for money earning projects. If it's supporting another organizations or collecting to benefit another organization or nonprofit, it's also no as well too. Here's an example of a money earning application project application. As you can see, it's everything that's highlighted in yellow is what a troop leader or treasurer would fill out. You're going to select whether the application is for your troop, service unit, cluster, or that kind of thing. Write out your troop number, your service unit, the person in charge of this project, their contact information. Next, below it is the treasury information. So write out how much money you have in the bank account, whether or not you have cash on hand, what your profit was for nut sales, cookie sales, or if you did recycling, enter that amount in. For troops that has done a previous money earning project, definitely list it here as well and how much you had profit off of it as well too. When you submit your money earning application, don't forget to include a flyer with it as well too. So like for instance, with this particular troop, they are doing a money earning application so they can bridge to San Francisco. Their project is a mother-daughter tea. They wrote out their date, their location, the time, the projected cost per girl, what they projected their income is, their expense. And as you can see right here, they wrote down that their profit, oh, sorry about that, their projected profit is 500. So if anything that's over 500 has to go to council for approval, but the money earning application is fairly easy to fill out. If you need help with it or anything like that, definitely send me an email or give me a call. I'm more than happy to go over it with you. All right, so if your money, once you fill out the money earning project and it has been approved by the service unit or the finance support specialist, this little gray box right here will let you know whether the project is approved, disapproved, or needs to be resubmitted. Once your project is completed, the bottom is the evaluation and final reports. You're going to go over the actual expense, actual income from that project, and whether or not it was successful and if you were to do it again and that kind of thing. You might consider doing this project again if it went well, and if you do, you can better budget and plan for it again next time. Also remember to include the profit on your troop group financial report as well too. So for any large group activity, these two additional forms must be completed and submit with the money earning application prior to conducting the project. One of the form is the event budget worksheet. The other form is the event approval checklist. So the event budget worksheet can be reviewed by the service unit team and they'll look over the plans and budgets. They may approve them or forward them to our council for approval. Depending on the money earning project, the event approval checklist must be completed and reviewed by the service unit activity consultant. Your service unit activity consultant will also let you know if additional Girl Scout insurance is needed for purchase. Sorry if I'm going by so fast. I know that we only have like a certain amount of time left, but if you have more questions or anything like that, just go ahead and send me an email at troopbanking@sdgirlscouts.org. I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. So this right here is the event budget worksheet. It's fairly simple and easy to fill out. If you need help filling it out, just send me an email. I'm more than happy to help with it as well too. And this is the second half of the event budget worksheet. You're going to compare the actual costs and the expenses and everything like that. So here's more of the expenses, what you budgeted for, and what it actually costs as well. Lastly, we're going to talk about the Opportunity Fund. Opportunity funds are available to individual girls and adults, not to troop. We're committed to ensuring that all of our girls can participate in Girl Scout regardless of financial resources. Opportunity Fund won't cover 100% of any requests and should not be used in place of money earning projects and solid budgeting plans. So applications are reviewed by a committee here at Council. The amount of funds granted will also be based on the need and available of funds as well too. So what does the Opportunity Fund covers? It helps individual Girl Scout members cover costs such as if it's a first-year Girl Scout, it will cover her registration fees. If it's a brand new troop, it will be the startup fee. It will also cover items like journey books, uniform pieces, activities and events, or anything that relates to or support the Girl Scout leadership experience. We do offer financial assistance for those as well. But troops should definitely plan activities in line with the economic conditions of all troop members. So opportunity funds, like I had mentioned before, should not be used to cover costs of a troop, should not be used to cover costs a troop is unable to raise money for or budget for. Opportunity fund requests. So in order for troops to request opportunity fund, they also must submit an annual financial report. New troops, you won't be needing to send this in, but it's also important to budget and prioritize troop funds for expenses like uniforms and membership. I understand that registration is going up to $25 for the new 2018 membership year, so this is something that troops can definitely plan and budget for. Please remember that only new girls will receive priority for membership first, so definitely save and budget your troop product sales proceeds for troop expenses. Our goal is for troop groups to be financially self-sustaining. If you have more questions about the Opportunity Fund and the forms and where to find it, definitely connect with our customer care. Their phone number is listed right here. We also have a FAQ on Opportunity Fund as well too, and this is also on our website. All right, so active communication with your service unit team. So how many of you know your service unit team members? You can type it out on the chat area or the question area. No? Let's see. So your service unit team It's essential. They are an essential support system that organize training, mentorship, girl program, and membership support for volunteers, girls, and caregivers. It's also important to attend the service unit leader meeting so that way important information about the troops, forms, events, and activities are given. Information about those are also shared. It gives you the opportunity to meet your service unit team and other leaders in your community. So definitely attend and ask questions and learn new things. So your service unit team consists of a manager, your treasurer. Your treasurer is most important. She or he has a wealth of knowledge that can provide you financial information to help your troop be successful. The next person on your team, on the service unit team, is an activity consultant. There's a product salesperson, a membership recruiter person, a registrar, and a recognition chair. And this right here goes over what their role is. All right, so as we're getting closer, I know that we're ending at this hour. I'll remain on the webinar to answer any questions. The webinar will be posted on our website. Iris is going to post the PowerPoint for you. I would very much appreciate it if you could share your best advice, ideas, comments, suggestions in the comment section of the webinar, so that way other leaders, treasurers, and volunteers can learn from you. You know that that saying, sharing is caring. I also would love any feedbacks you have for me to make this webinar better in the future and any other ways that our council can best support you too. Thank you everyone so much. If you have additional questions or need assistance, definitely reach out to your service unit treasurer. If you don't know who that person is, let me know. I can definitely provide you the information. My email is troopbanking@scgirlscouts.org. Let's start answering questions, shall we? Let's see. Sorry, I'm opening up the questions right now and it's taking some time. Let's see. So the first question, let's see. I know who they are. So some of you know who your service unit treasurers are, okay. Is the Opportunity Fund financed by share? A portion of it is. Additional insurance sometimes required for events. So depending on what type of events that you're hosting, additional insurance is required. So I know that, for instance, if you're hosting an event, this is part of the money project application. If you're hosting some kind of event and it's intended for girls who are not Girl Scout members or to the public, then yes, additional insurance will be needed. Someone had asked about multi-level troops. Multi-level troops can definitely do money earning applications. For financial report, there is a drop down for you to report what troop level you are. Let's see. Somebody had asked, can you do a check request for multiple receipts? Yes. So for every check request that is submitted, definitely include the receipts for it. But if it's for, like, let's say that it's for bridging and you purchase many things and have multiple receipts, then those multiple receipts can be used for one check request form. Just as long as you itemize it and break it down, that should be fine. Let's see. How do we show the additional money received from eBuddy for troops that sold more boxes? Monies are to be deposited to account sometimes this week, next week. This caused their numbers from eBuddy and their banks to be different. Okay, so actually for all of our troops who sold cookies this year, they actually earn an extra penny for the boxes that they sold. So when you log into eBuddy sometime early this week, you'll see a negative number where it says amount due to council. If you see that negative, it's a credit that our council is going to give back to you. Let's say that you sold 1,500 boxes. So our council will credit you $15 because it's a penny for every box. On the financial report, how you report it is on your financial report, just write product sales credit for cookies, and then in the income product sales section, you're going to write out the amount that was credit to the troop. How do you reimburse for mileage driven by a parent to the event. So I do get asked questions about mileage reimbursement. Before you do any mileage reimbursement, definitely have this conversation with everyone in the troop. Talk to the girls, the parents, make sure that they're aware that this is something that is discussed or is needed. So let's say that for cookie sales, you're driving from one area to another, and if a parent or someone wants to be reimbursed, definitely talk to the troop and let them know, hey, I've taken this X amount of girls to our to our to the cookie booth sites. Is it okay if we can reimburse? But it's just really important to have that discussion with them first before you do any mileage reimbursement, that kind of thing. If you withdraw cash for a booth sale, what proof is required? So I know that during cookie sales, troops do withdraw cash for change. So when I look at a financial report and I see an ATM withdrawal for, let's say, $100, on your financial report, just make sure you write something like withdraw $100 for cookie cash change. As you're collecting money and everything, there should be another transaction on the financial report that shows redepositing cookie cash change. So if you withdraw $100, definitely show that $100 was deposited back onto to the Trooper bank account. So that way we know money was taken out for something and it was put back in as well. Let's see. So if a parent overpaid for something, you can definitely reimburse that parent. A check request form is still needed, so that way we know someone in your troop and someone on our service unit team or council know, like, a parent was paid back $10 for something because they overpaid for an event that they overpaid for an event or something that their daughter didn't attend. That kind of thing. Let's see. So someone said the link in the guideline documents does not work. Where can I find the report? Oh, so what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is I'm going to open up our Girl Scout website. So let me pull this over. Many of you should see this. So the financial guidelines. So if right here, when you go to our main website at sdgirlscouts.org, right here, you can click on Forms, which is at the top. Search by category, you're going to select Financial Forms. You're going to click this box right here that says Search. As you scroll down, you're going to see Financial Guidelines right here. And then Troop Group Financial Report is also here. Money Earning Application Guidelines, Opportunity Funds. So for Financial Guidelines, if you click on this, you can download as a PDF. It'll come up on your screen. And this is the updated Financial Guidelines. Another way to access all the other financial forms is clicking on Volunteers. It's this link right here at the top. Next, you're going to click on Training and Support for Volunteers. It's on the left, it's in gray. Well, it's in gray once you hover over it, but click on it. Right here as you scroll down just a little bit, right here where it says Troop Group Finances, click on that. And it's also, all the forms are here. It's divided by service unit and by troop treasurer. So for my service unit treasurers who are listening to the webinar, you can find the check request here, the monthly report, position description, financial report for the service unit, banking information. For all of my troops listening in, financial guidelines is also right here. Information on the opportunity funds and application. This is a bank statement reconciliation, but it's also a tab on the financial form. Event budget worksheet that we had talked about. Here's the money earning application. This is the steps for opening a troop bank account. Financial report, Volunteer Central Chapter 5, information on the membership fees increase. If your troop doesn't have a treasurer, this is something that whoever plans to step to be a treasurer can read over. It's the position description, what is required of their role. I also included a digital cookie guide for Troop Annual Financial Report. So during the presentation, I had mentioned that digital cookies should not be reported on the financial guidelines. There's a reason why, so you can click on this guide to read more about it. There's also a guide on doing the financial report as well. And down here is the disbandment information for troops, the report, and just a guide for our leaders. Let's look at other questions. Sorry, I'm trying my best to answer all your questions. Let's see, in the next one. So in regards to updating bank account signers, so if you're updating your bank account, go ahead and send me an email over at Troop Banking. There is a form that I need to give you, which is the Wells Fargo authorization form. This form is needed when there's a change in signer or removing signer. For removing a signer, let me know who it is so that way I can communicate with Wells Fargo and let them know, hey, we are removing this individual, and then we're going to add this individual. When you go to the bank, the current signer has to be with the new signer in order to add the new signer to the account. And then they also need that, that authorization form as well too. For nut sales, how can we get the sales report? So what I'm going to do is next week I'm providing all of our service unit treasurers a product sales report. It basically has the nut sales number and the cookie sales number. So your service unit treasurers will know the numbers next week, but if you need it right away, go ahead and email me and I can provide you the net sales number with the cookie incentives where it's a penny for each box. We're still finalizing the report as of today. Someone had also asked if membership due is increasing for the 17-18 year or the 18-19 year. So membership due is increasing for the 17-18 year. So when you renew your girls in October 1st of this year, that's when it's going to be the $25 fee. So for financial reports, I usually say it's due on the June 15th, so that way it gives the service unit treasurer some time to submit the financial report to us by June 30th, but just a little heads up, every service unit sets prior due dates. So sometimes service unit treasurers will collect the financials in April or in May. It's really, if you need to know who your treasurer is and when it's due, let me know and I can provide you those dates as well too. Another thing is for nut sales, there is a charge for $1. I believe it's probably in November. If you see a $1 charge, it's for our product sales to test whether or not your trooping account has any funds or if it's still an active account. And this $1 charge has to go on the product sales expense line. Is there any question that I miss? So Amy, for your financial report, I don't know on top of my head when Mountain Shadow is due, but I will send you an email and let you know when those due dates are. And let's see.
Hi, Ava. It looks like
Yeah.
you were able to answer all the questions. Again, if somehow we skipped your question, please email troopbanking@sdgirlscouts.org, or I see some people replying back to the needs assessment survey link email, so I'll make sure that Ava gets those. Again, I'm going to send everyone an email with a link to the Dropbox so you can access these slides. And soon we will post this webinar on the financials webpage in case you need a little refresher later. Thank you all for attending, and Ava, thank you.
Thank you, Iris.